basically
Farage is
brushed off
not fit for
anti-racism
10
protesters.
Downing
Illegally.
Street.
Has
Listen
anything ever
carefully.
stuck?
And this is
Farage,
a key factual
Podcast
point
Part
Abdullah
1.
highlights. Despite all the accusations, Nigel Farage has never been legally convicted of hate speech or discrimination. That's a fact. And some of his supporters, the author notes, users like at Niomirapano111 on X, argue that the term racism is just thrown around too much as a political smear. They'd say he's not targeting race, he's targeting policy. They might see his views as maybe politically incorrect, but not fundamentally racist, more about cultural integration, perhaps.
So, a clear denial, framing it as policy, pointing to lack of convictions and accusing critics of bias. Having laid all that out, the allegations, the defenses, how does the author, Mohammad Raj Abdullah, actually sum it all up? What's their assessment?
Abdullah's conclusion is pretty direct, actually. They state, and I'm quoting loosely here, the evidence suggests Farage's rhetoric often aligns with what critics substantiate as xenophobic or racially charged, particularly in immigration debates.
Okay, so leaning towards the critics' view there.
But they immediately add the caveat. His supporters see it as fair critique, and without convictions, it's subjective. So acknowledging that perception differs.
But then there's a final verdict.
Yes. The author asks, political incorrect? Yes. Then outright racist. And the answer given is, substantiated patterns point toward yes, based on consistent allegations from diverse sources, though he denies it vehemently.
Substantiated patterns point toward yes. That's quite a strong conclusion, despite the denials and lack of convictions.
It is, and what's compelling, I think, is Abdullah's emphasis on that pattern. It's not just about isolated incidents, but the consistency across many different allegations from different types of sources over a long period. That's what seems to lead the journalist to that conclusion, even with the strong denials.
Right, that makes sense. A very clear, if complex, assessment on the racism front. So let's pivot now. How does this investigation continue when we look at the second major set of allegations Abdullah explores, those concerning corruption?
Yeah, and this really raises another important question for us, doesn't it? Are these claims totally separate from the racism ones, or do they maybe paint a broader picture, perhaps about how power and money intersect in his political life?
Interesting angle. So what does the source look at specifically?
It centers on his finances, things like undeclared interests, his various associations. Critics, as Abdullah notes, often paint him as a kind of grifter, someone profiting from politics.
Well, he would say.
He counters hard, accusing opponents of smears, of politically motivated attacks. Abdullah's review really gets into that back and forth.
Okay, let's dive into the evidence supporting these corruption claims first. Financial impropriety. What specifics does the article mention?
Well, it notes that around 2023-2024, he faced accusations about setting up offshore tax havens and also about failing to declare quite lavish gifts back when he was an MEP, which